Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is New Hampshire Cross Country, powered by Runner's Alley. We're here today with the Green Wave and your Week 1 rankings. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Tyler Sheedy.
I'm Bree Haley.
I'm Ashlyn Smith.
And we're all seniors.
Yep.
All right, so let's start off with the girls. Who's coming in at number 10?
Okay, so coming in at number 10 is the Exeter Bluehawks, who always come together at the right time. And dropping a few ranks doesn't make them any less dangerous. You can expect them to continue to improve throughout the season and make a possible late season run.
Okay, so coming in at number 9 is Co Brown. They might actually be one of our sleeper teams this year. They always have the ability to rise up, typically with a very strong pack. They really are always consistent for D2 top of the teams.
Okay, so coming in at number 8 is Hopkinton, last year's D3 champ, and they're just coming back at it again. Really strong team running, and they're D3 favorites this year.
So then at number 8 is Bedford. They're led by sophomore Fiona Lee, and they've had a really good season so far. They've had great races at both Nashua North and at Bobcat, so they have a lot that they could do at Manch this weekend, and that'll be interesting to see.
So next, at number 6, we have Oyster River, who were originally unranked, but moved up to number 6 after the Bobcat Invitational this week, 2 weekends ago, when they finished 5th, and then at the Co Brown homecoming meet when they finished 5th again, and with strong performances by Mackenzie Cook and Haley Kavanaugh, and they can build some strong momentum and possibly make a run at a D2 title.
Then coming in 5th is Souhegan, always one of the top D2 teams. They're led by Chloe Trudell, senior. Right now I believe she's favorited to win D2s in October, so that will be interesting to see how that plays out. They've had tough races already that they've done well at. So yeah, Man should be, again, another good gauge to see how they stack up against all the other teams.
Okay, so coming in at number 4, we have Dover. Woo-hoo. We made the jump from 9th to 4th with our first place finish at the Bobcat Invitational.
Yeah, we have a pretty strong group, a lot of underclassmen that we're working with. Brooke Marshall is a junior. She's led our team. Then we have a pretty solid pack, so we're really working on that. All right, then in 3rd is Bishop Guertin. They're always one of the top teams. This year, Mary Kate Finn is doing great. She had a great race at Nashua North Invite last week, really dominating the field. And so we'll have to see how BG plays out in D1s, how they and Concord kind of fight for that top spot, and everyone else.
So coming in at number 2 is Keene, and they dominated the field on the Great Glen course and do an incredible job of putting teams together. They have a really talented group of upperclassmen that finished 4th in D1 the last time they competed all together, and they'll be a force to be reckoned with this year.
So then first is Concord. They had a narrow victory at Nashua North this weekend, and so they will obviously be fighting for the number 1 spot all this season. They have a very strong pack of 3 or 4 runners in the front, and so if they can get another runner, that will be definitely a very strong team that will be hard to challenge.
All right, so for the boys now, we have number 10 is Keene, led by Torrin and Kindop. They're always a strong team at D1s, and they could jump up the rankings really quickly here if they have, a good finish to the season. We don't see them much. They don't go to Manch, so it's going to be a bit of a question mark heading into states, but always they are a top team, so look out for them. And number 9, we're going to have Hanover. They're a team that in the past has had strong pack running, and I think at this moment they only have a number 1, so it should be interesting to see how their team is strung out and led at the races going forward, and see at states how they fare in D2s. Number 8 is Sanborn, led by Jared Khalil, and then also Tyson Khalil, so the Khalils are definitely going to be a big factor for Sanborn. They were a team that finished well last year, and they lost Dylan Khalil, but they still have Khalils for days, so they're in a good spot, and we'll see them at D2s doing pretty well. And number 7, we're going to have Wyndham. So they're led by Michael Killian and Logan Carter. They lost the great Rohan Rai, unfortunately, but they are always going to be a team that's going to be strong. With Killian being one of the top runners in the state this year, he should challenge for a top spot in the D2 race and lead his team up there as well. Then at number 6 is going to be Londonderry. They've got Ryan Fortin and Sean Clegg, who are runners that have been coming up the ranks recently in the last few years. They're both juniors, and they're in a good spot. Londonderry is always consistent. They lost 2 of their best runners last year, Matt Griffin and Ryan Young, but overall they're always a team at D1s that's going to be competing for the title, so watch them in the future. Number 5, previously unranked, is going to be Oyster River. They're kind of a bit of a surprise this season. They have really no clear number 1. They had, I'm pretty sure Dylan Labonte was the number 1 at the Co-Brown meet, and then they were led by Chris Jernigan at Bobcat. And so they're kind of giving a bit of a vibe from middle school back in when I was in 8th grade watching that team dominate. I'm excited to see what they do with their guys who are coming back. So they're a team to watch this year and see if they can challenge Co-Brown. Then at number 4, we're going to have Pinkerton, always the team that's going to be up there in D1s, led by Luke Brennan, who is finally a senior with me, and we're excited to see how they do after not being able to compete last year at states and be a champions, if they can continue being a strong team and jump up the rankings again. They also have Ethan Charles, who's looking pretty good, and they did well at the National North Invite last week, coming 3rd, and so they're always a team that's going to be up there, and look for them to do big things this coming this postseason. Then next up is going to be, Concord. All right, I'm going to cut that out. Wow.
I think you should leave it in.
I should. All right. Well, anyways, so next up is going to be Concord, 4-time defending D1 champions. They just lost by a few points to Bishop Guertin at the Nashua North Invite, but they're always a team that's looking good. They've got a really strong top 3 this year. They've got Sam Hiltz, Zach Cooper, and John Murphy, who are all looking like they could definitely break 16 and go even further by the end of the season. And so they're in a really good spot. They lost Eben Bragg and Braden Kearns last year, but they're doing just fine, and they are going to be contending really well for the D1 title. So Concord was beaten last week by Bishop Guertin, who's their number 2 team. And they're a team that's really risen up in the rankings the last 2 years. They're led by Nate Vondikowski, who just won the National North Invite. And he's a guy who always goes out hard and tries to keep it, and it worked for him last week, and we'll see how that goes for him heading forward. They're a team that has just a really good pack. They've got guys who can go 2 through 5 in their team and be right up in the top of the race. So I'm really interested to see how they do come states and meet champions. If they will continue the success they've had so far this season, they could jump up to number 1. But number 1 right now has also been number 1 for the last 2 years, is Co-Brown, led by the great Aiden Cox, who is the heavy favorite to win all races this year. They have Tyler Kasich, who's really risen up recently, Jamie Lano, and Lars Hogney, and the thing for them is finding a number 5 to run for their team to finish that scoring out. And if they find that number 5, they'll be in a really good spot and definitely take home the state title this year at Media Champions and D2s. And then another thing I wanted to do is give a little rankings of my top 5 individuals right now to look for, just because we did the teams and some individuals aren't mentioned in their teams. So right now at number 5 for individuals, I would give that spot to Sam Hiltz right now. He's had a really good start to the season with second places at Bobcat and the National North Invite, and he won the Cofferin Classic. So he's really doing well so far this season. He has a formidable kick, so watch out for him. Number 4 is going to be Nate Vondikowski, who just won the National North Invite from BG. And he takes it out hard, and he doesn't relent the pressure. So he's going to be looking good so far this season. We'll see if at D1s he can continue that, and also at Media Champions. Number 3 on my list for individuals is going to be Michael Killian from Wyndham. I feel like he's always the most underrated athlete in the state for the last few years. He finished, I'm pretty sure, 9th at Media Champions last year, and he's just always doing well at meets. He won a meet earlier this season over Nate Vondikowski, and look for him to do big things this year at Media Champions. And then next up is me, Patrick Gandini, who won Bobcat. He's just a consistent runner over the last few years. He is the one who could challenge Aiden Cox this year at Media Champions. And he's just looking really good so far, and look for him to only get better. And then, of course, number 1 is going to be Aiden Cox, who has basically been number 1 since Jake Velasquez crossed the finish line at Media Champions all those years ago. Aiden's been dominating every single race he's been in New Hampshire, and he's going to be the Media Champions champion. I'm calling it right now. So that's my rankings of individuals. All right, and that will be it for New Hampshire Cross Country with the weekly rankings for week 1. We hope you enjoyed, and look forward to the Manchester Invitational, where we'll see if these rankings hold, or if not, if they change. So it should be exciting, and we'll see you then.